guys did amazing! The trial's complete! But you took this way too far, Professor.
That was faster than I expected.
Was it?
I'll have to increase the difficulty next time.
Could you please listen to me?
This trial was completely absurd.
And also another reason that I think this fight in particular is maybe harder than it needed to be, is just the heals. The 10% heals are, I mean, so many runs were just murdered by him getting like 1 or 2 of those. And it's like, there's nothing really you can do. Like, you have 1 S-Craft maybe on Reanie. And even then, you're not always going to have that. Now, the reason the heals kind of are okay is because later in the game, or like they're not as annoying later on, is because you have more ways to deal with them, because you're more likely to like instant cast your spells, and you have like, you know, potential accelerates and things like that. You have way more S-Crafts available to you. You have ways to quickly, you know, give someone an S-break with like food and whatnot. But like early game, it's kind of suffering because there's nothing you can do about them. Which is why I'm not really a huge fan of the whole characters don't get their S-breaks at the start. Now, I don't know how long it's going to be delayed. Hopefully it's not as bad as it was in CS1, which was suffering, where it was like you had 1 S-Craft for like literally the first like 20 hours almost.
Next time? Is he gonna make us go through all that again?
Like, I mean, at least you got Reans here.
The probability seems high.
At least that put an end to our orienteering exercise.
I mean, you don't get your first S-Craft until... I guess it's... You do start with Laura. Laura starts with 1.
Thank you. Great job, class.
But that's still not until, like, you know, the combat of Chapter 1.
You all handled the first test of Brave Order very well. I'm proud of you. There are some areas each of you could improve on, but you just need to tackle them one at a time.
I mean, I do, to give some props to it, it was, like, I mean, like, the fact that I had to completely switch around everyone's Master Quartz is kind of neat. Because I think our final order was Rean kept his, because his is kind of garbage. I gave the Earth one to Altina, because we were just kind of having her sit at the back and spam the Earth spell. And she was the one that was most like she was rarely getting hit. Mainly because if she got hit, she died anyway, so she was making good benefit out of, the passive there of extra break damage. I think we gave the time one to Kurt, mainly just because I wanted the wind one on Yuno, because I was spamming airstrike for the blind for a while, like prior to us getting level 5, where it's just we want to spam that Gemini blast attack.
I'm sure today hasn't instilled you with much faith in the idea of Class 7. Your class size and this trial are bound to raise some red flags.
So I do have to wonder, do we just like steal people from the other classes as the game goes on?
Then you have an instructor who's only just graduated. What if he doesn't know what he's doing?
Which honestly, I don't know. I'm open to a different approach, right? As opposed to like CS1 where they just gave you all the characters at the start, basically.
Like I said, if you want to transfer to classes 8 or 9, I swear that I'll make it happen.
But maybe starting with a smaller cast and then having it expand over the course of the game. I'm also down for that. Because, I mean, there's benefits to both having a super large character roster.
It's something I want you to decide for yourselves.
And also having a smaller one. I mean, I think the series has kind of experimented with both, right? Where you had Zero, where you just had, you know, 6 characters. With, like, occasional side characters. But for the most part, just the, you know, the main SSS. Or really just 4 characters. I don't know why I said 6. I guess I was thinking of, you know, your occasional party members, but... And they expanded it a decent amount in Azure. And then you have Cold Steel, and to a lesser extent, like Trails 2 and 3, where you have like really massive, or Sky 2 and 3, I guess I should say. Like you have massive character rosters.
Think hard about what you believe, what you want to accomplish, what kind of future you want, and, most importantly, who you are. Only you can figure out if Class 7 is the right place for you.
And I'm not entirely sure to like what extent old class members are gonna, or, you know, the original Class 7 members are gonna show back up. I mean, obviously, you know, they're gonna show up in some form or capacity, but like, whether it'll be as like semi-permanent party members, I assume no, but...
Take all that to heart, and I know you'll have your answer.
I would assume it's maybe like specific sections you might have like one or two with you at a time, kind of like how in that opening sequence that was
Unicroft
Gaius
reporting.
and
From today,
Eustace?
I will be part of Class 7, Special Operations.
Really?
Don't get the wrong idea, okay? It's not because I want to. I never wanted to come to this school. I'd much rather be back in Crossbell.
Same.
I don't like Erebonia, and I don't think much of you either.
I don't like Erebonia. I mean, Rean, you know, he's getting there.
So it seems.
But throughout the entire exercise, your guidance was clear and accurate. If you weren't with us, we never would have beaten that thing. Honestly, it's infuriating. And I'm annoyed I couldn't show off what I learned at the police academy. That's why I'm going to stay in Class 7 until I can prove myself. Until I can show up an annoying hero like you, Ashen Chevalier.
I mean, I kind of like it.
She's ridiculous.
I mean, she is ridiculous, but I kind of like
At
it.
least she's consistent in her ridiculousness.
The annoying part aside, you really don't need to keep calling me a hero. But you know what? I respect that kind of determination. Welcome to Class 7, Yuna.
Got it.
Kurt Vander reporting. I will also join Class 7.
What if they were just like, nah? Jokes? You thought these are going to be the starting party members? You're wrong.
That said, I have no definitive reason for doing so.
I mean, it's kind of like I mean, extremely minor spoilers for like the first couple hours of Pillars of Eternity, where it does the same thing, where you get like the first two, like, it seems like they're going to be your two starting party members, and then, well, they are not your starting party members.
Oh?
I simply have no objections to the branch campus's decision to place me in this class. If anything, I'm grateful for the chances it'll give me to test my skills in real combat. I couldn't face my family if I allowed the blades I inherited to rust.
So they're heirlooms?
Metaphorical. He means the will of the Vander school.
I'm also interested in seeing what the 8 leaves can do. So far, I'm not impressed.
What? I mean, what?
Whoa! That's way out of line.
That is a little out of line.
I do not believe you're in any position to say that.
Well, that's because I'm still learning. Just like you guys. Welcome to Class 7, Kurt.
Thank you.
How about you, Altina?
I don't think she has a choice.
There is no need for confirmation. While the details are classified, I intend to follow the protocols of the mission.
No, Altina, that's not what I mean. The answer needs to come from you.
Does she not understand?
I won't accept your participation unless you chose this. I don't care who originally placed you here, whether it was the principal, the intelligence division, or even the Imperial government. Why do you want to stay? It can be anything.
And it can't be what I said.
Obviously not.
Hey! Why are you picking on her so much? I still don't get how you guys know each other, but you can't talk like that to a little girl who...
I mean, she did kidnap Breen's sister and the princess. I mean, I don't hold a grudge,
I
you got
can't
it.
think of a reason. All that comes to mind is how I've supported you on all of your operations this past year. If I'm to be at the branch campus, it is only right that I be in your class. It was also Class 7 who once stood in the way of my mission. Even if the students have changed, I find myself somewhat drawn to the name. Does that work?
Not really, but...
It works for now. I'm glad you're staying, Altina.
Okay.
Oh, brother. You sure drew that out.
It's been one thing after another.
I now officially declare the formation of Class 7 Special Operations. Let's all work hard and grow together. Not just as a class, but as comrades.
So initial impressions of those three. I think I like him. Altina's basically
That
just
was
like
so sweet,
worse
man.
Tio. So I think she has the most room to grow, or like she has the most, she's the weakest of those three. Kurt and Yuna, the jury's still out on them, but like, they have their own personalities, it feels like. They don't instantly just feel like, because like that's kind of how I'm feeling with like Altina. Is like she's similar to Tio, but I mean they're definitely different, because where Tio's definitely a little bit more vibrant and sarcastic, in comparison to Altina, who's, obviously a bit more robotic.
I was wondering how things were going down here.
Foolish. No instructor has the authority to change a student's placement.
Oh, shut up.
If any of them wanted to transfer, I would have allowed it.
I mean, I feel like that'd be like really bad if you didn't.
Principal Le Guin, with all due respect.
Everything worked out, so it's fine. Didn't you hear? They decided for themselves. Classes 8 and 9 had a good start too. Not bad for a trash bin. The coming days will be very interesting indeed. Train our fledglings well while you can. That is, if you don't want them to be swept away by this turbulent era.
Of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeesh! This is some school I landed myself in.
It does also feel so weird to see his name as Randolph in the subtitles.
Damn, he's even worse than Gramps. Coming here to study is crazy enough, but you sure you want to work under that old goat?
Now the real question is he worse than her mother?
Don't be like that. He's actually pretty amazing.
Tita, you have no concept of what a normal person is, okay? You've just been surrounded by weirdos your entire life.
And I feel like I'll be able to make a lot of friends here. But most importantly, I want to do all I can in place of everyone who couldn't come to the Empire.
Look at you, all grown up and doing your own thing. Guess I can't call you short stuff anymore, huh?
I mean, she is almost as tall as him.
Oh.
I mean, like, relatively speaking.
Our old enemies are definitely on the move. Not just them. The Imperial government and a few other groups are up to something too.
Especially compared to, like, in the Sky games, where I felt like Tita came up to his kneecap.
Thank the freaking goddess that dumbass was around to help me set up a long-distance line. If anything happens, I'll be here in a flash. Don't hesitate to call me, Tita. You got that?
You bet. But only if you promise me you'll be careful, Agate. Don't do anything too crazy.
I see. For both the main and branch campuses?
Oh no. Oh no.
Yes, their first day ended without incident. Class 7 Special Operations, Class 8 Combat Tactics, and Class 9 Military Finance have all been established.
One of those sounds much less cooler than the others.
Man, oh man. Just when I thought we finally shoved that beast in a cage, Erebonia's #1 sweetheart just had to show up wanting to be an instructor.
Indeed. Between them and a certain capable young woman, there's far more talent there than one would ever expect from a trash bin. Perhaps there wasn't a need to send him there from Crossbell so soon after all.
Who do you think you're fooling? We all know why you really sent him. But whatever, a powerhouse like him will come in handy.
I'm not sure this is appropriate.
In any event, the
Claire,
wheels
just accept
are
it.
now
You're
in
evil,
motion.
okay? You can have your reservations all you want. You're on the wrong side of history.
With Northumbria's annexation, every bush those serpents would dare hide in has been burned to ash. They have no choice left but to try and reclaim their master's plan. As for the branch campus, that pitiful final act of rebellion from a prince who's lost his blade and his wings. We shall simply have it, and my worthless son, dance at the end of our strings.
Your Excellency.
Laying it on kinda thick, don't you think?
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
your
little-
will, Excellency,
God.
we Ironbloods will see your ambitions are fulfilled.
Why? Why do you? He's obviously a fucking bad dude. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Osborn. Well, it's like Osborn, okay, I get it. He's like the bad guy. Okay, cool. Everyone else, I don't know.
Whew. I think the connection's finally gone through.
Yay, it worked!
Oh no.
I never dreamed I'd be able to talk with you all like this.
Indeed.
Reen?
His Highness was too kind to arrange this feature.
Doesn't look like Reen or Gaius came through. Could be they're too far away. Oh, or maybe somewhere where the signal's super weak.
No matter. I'm sure we'll have more than
Was it
ample
the
opportunities
million?
to speak with them in the coming days.
That's right, and we can finally fulfill our promise. Well, you sure are fired up.
How could she
Oh,
not
that's the
be?
hanger. I was like,
This
what is
is
the...
the season for reunions, after all.
Couldn't tell what the third picture was. The one on the left.
Spring is here once again.
Oh, now we have our real anime opening. The one that I think I'm not supposed to pay attention to this one. Because it, like, spoils shit. Is what I've been told by, like, many people. Honestly, fuck it. I'll skip it. I'm sorry, but they have walked the thin line when it comes to spoilers in the past, and if that one's apparently supposed to be even more egregious, maybe it's for the best if we just don't see anything. Because honestly, I know literally nothing about this game. I mean, I knew like a little bit about CS 1 and 2 just because of like Azure stuff and comments that are not subtle in the slightest, but this one I really don't think I know anything. I mean, that's a cool calendar. Oh, I was like, why is it going so fast? Man, we haven't talked to a single NPC yet in this game. Is this a real Trails game? I feel like that was something I wanted to mention, but now I can't think of it. Oh yeah, it's back to the... I don't think I ever really made this, like, talked about this on camera, like, at length. I mean, I kind of, like, I think I mentioned it a little bit at the end of CS2, but, like, I do find the whole idea that, like, Osborn is, like, taking on Ouroboros to be, like, hilarious, because, like... What's to stop them from just, I don't know, using their free teleportation powers to just teleport the whole damn squad into his office? Like, I mean, I get it. Ouroboros can't directly take on, like, the might of the Araponian military. Like, I get that.
Okay,
That's
all
understandable. But, like, seriously, what is Osborn's plan for if, like, literally every enforcer just teleported into his office at once? Which is something that they clearly have demonstrated they can do. Like, several times in the past. They're not even, like, teleport in there. They just kicked in the fucking door. What is there to stop them? Right?
We said we'd walk to school together, and she just up and leaves while I'm still asleep.
Make a wishy with
Dad,
Mishi?
Mom, Ken, and Nana.
Do I know any of that? I feel like I should know these people. But I don't.
Wish me luck. I'm gonna give it my all. I won't lose to any of these Imperials!
Okay, so they're definitely, I mean, I kind of already figured that there was something to do with, like, Rean, you know, incidentally saved her in some regard.
Huh! Yeah! Strike!
I'm not gonna be able to take you seriously when you say strike like that.
Not bad. I simply need more experience.
Just confuses
Despite
me
all
every
the battles
time.
we went through yesterday, he was never short of breath. The 8 Leaves, 1 Blade School. It's impressive to be sure, but nothing compared to what Father Mueller and Uncle Zex can do.
I mean, they can summon a black hole, so like, okay, I'll give you that.
I suppose the Ashen Chevalier simply relies on the power of his Divine Knight.
Well, no, the Divine Knight doesn't do anything. Like, that's not my Rean strong.
Oh.
And man, if he thinks Rean's strong now, imagine if he'd seen him pre-nerf.
Good morning.
They are kind of...
Good morning, Yuna. I take it you're headed out as well?
They're being a little too on the nose about like, hey, remember when this exact same shit happened in CS1?
Yeah. Are you all done with your training?
It's a little like, it's like, okay, at first I'm like, I get it, you know, it's the same thing. This is a little, you're pushing it.
It's pretty impressive how you do all that every single day.
Well, it's something I've been doing from a very young age, so it's just part of my morning routine.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry about before.
Okay, at least they kind of are getting to the point.
You know, when I slapped you, I know it wasn't your fault, and I shouldn't have gotten so angry. It was childish of me.
Ah, that. I'd like to apologize too.
I mean, you could have apologized like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think it said it's been 2 weeks.
But have you been wanting to say that for the past 2 weeks? Considering how much you dislike Erebonians, it's very thoughtful of you.
Okay, now you're gonna get slapped again, and you deserve it this time.
I don't dislike the people here. Yeah, I've got my problems with the country, but this is between people. When I mess up, I make sure I apologize.
I mean, I get that.
Especially considering what I said about your swords. I mean, you practice every day, and...
Ah, right.
You're still lower level than everybody else.
And they'll be way more useful than a couple of weapons as old as the Great Collapse.
Don't worry about that. Besides, like I said, my training is just part of my morning routine.
Also, I should have stopped the video. I think we're actually just gonna probably consider this like a new video. 'Cause I think we're at like 2.5 hours of footage for this episode.
Out of curiosity, is everyone from Crossbell like you?
Well, obviously not.
Huh? Like me, how?
What is it even, like, obviously not everyone in an entire, I mean, they're more of like a city. It's gonna not be like one person.
Oh, I don't mean to offend. Very straightforward and good-hearted. Probably the type to be easily tricked.
Definitely should have left out that last part.
Hey! Wanna run that by me again?
I mean, for what it's worth, the entire city of Crossbell was pretty easily tricked with the whole Dieter stuff, so... I mean, he's kind of... I mean, he's correct, but not for the right reasons.
Like I said, I don't mean to offend. I'm glad to have a classmate like you whom I can trust. Though I don't know if I can trust your skills just yet.
Really, you just, like, don't know when to stop, do you, Kurt?
You're a real piece of work. Well, let's start over. Glad to be your classmate, Kurt.
Hello, you two. Good morning.
I am kind of interested, like, Kurt's whole vibe seems, like, completely different than what I got, based on the intro, like, flash forward. Like, he's got a bit more snark to him.
Altina?
Because he seemed like the, you know, the kind of standard, you know, like, sidekick character.
I thought you left for school already.
I received a routine status call early this morning. I didn't want to wake you, so I took it in the study room. If I disturbed you as I was leaving, I apologize.
No, I was out like a light. But wait, what do you mean, routine status call?
Sorry, that is confidential.
Well, in any event, it's nearly time to head to class. We're all in the same class anyway, so why don't we walk together?
I do not mind, but I believe the correct term for my presence would be a third wheel.
Well...
Judging by what I've seen, your relationship has progressed.
You might even say you've upgraded your social link.
Our relationship? What? No, that's not what's going on.
She certainly words things in a distinct way.
I do also kind of like how it's like Reanie is kind of the main character still, but we're getting like scenes with the new class as well, where it's kind of...
Leaves is such a nice place. I can't get enough of this homey atmosphere.
It's interesting. I like the different perspective here.
It's so peaceful and laid back. And it's got some great shops.
Agreed. It's a good halfway point between rural and urban. We're just the right distance away from Heimdall.
The previous owners of this land were a noble family. After they lost ownership of it, the government attempted to convert it into a resort. However, that plan fell through. It's said the half-finished buildings from that were used to create the campus.
Well, you sure do know a lot.
I mean, I have to, you know, make the guess, right? We've heard a lot about a family that lost their land. Wait, is it actually going to end up being like full circle, and this is the Kapuas, like where they used to live?
I suppose that explains why the branch campus is so large.
All that aside, I didn't think the Empire's military academies would be this tough. I get combat training and practical exams, but math, history, even art? Isn't this workload way beyond what you'd have at a regular high school?
Well, here in Erebonia, the pen and the sword are both held in high regard. Especially at Thor's. It's a prestigious, traditional school founded by our most notable emperor. That legacy won't change simply because this is a branch campus.
However, it seems the main campus has changed significantly this year.
Ah, yes.
Huh? I don't get what you guys are talking about, but looks like we're gonna have to give it 110% here. Let's kick all the other classes' butts.
Well, if you say so. However, most of our lessons are held with the other two classes anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Homeroom is the only one we have without them.
Oh, right. I guess it makes sense given the small number of students, but that means Class 7.
Well, well. If it ain't the chosen ones strutting off to class together.
It is that guy. Okay, I thought it was that guy.
I think he's in Class 8.
Good morning. Is there something we can help you with?
Nope, not a thing. Just wanted to get a little peek at the class taught by the hero of Erebonia. Class 7, huh? I'm sure the view is just great from up on that pedestal of yours.
You got an inferiority complex, bro?
Sorry to disappoint, but we're being treated the same as any other students.
Yeah, it's not like things are going to be different for us just because our instructor's famous.
Oh yeah? Then why'd they go out of their way to make such a small class?
I mean, plus, if we're being completely honest, Randy could probably beat up Reanie in a fight. Come on. You know it. I know it. We all know it.
A little kid who's clearly too young to be here. Some rich pretty boy with fancy hair.
Now, does Reanie have more potential? Yeah, probably, because he's got super anime powers, but I still gotta hold out for my boy Randy.
Oh, and a loud, unruly foreigner from some sob story country.
Because, I mean, not only has Randy beaten up God, I mean, he beat up Aryan Road. He dunked on her. I mean, he had some help, but...
Oops, my bad. Not a foreigner anymore, huh?
And Reanie has yet to do such a thing.
All right, we understand. You're a tough guy. But that's quite enough. If you have more to say, I'd be happy to talk with you further. After school.
Meet me by the flagpole.
You've got more spine than I gave you credit for. But the one I've got business with is...
I'm so happy to see everyone getting along.
Is that Greenie? That is Greenie.
Oh, she's from Class 9, Military Finance.
Good morning to you all. The weather is just splendid, isn't it? But if you spend too much time out here chatting, the bell will ring before you know it.
True.
You all done messing with us?
You got like, don't you have like some evil organizations, meetings to be in?
Me? I'm not here to mess with you. Well then, see you around.
I hope you all have a lovely day. I'll see you again for the classes we have together. What's that blonde guy's problem? I can't believe they let some punk like him into a military academy.
Also, like, shouldn't you know his name? Like, if you've been going to school, the same school for 2 weeks, you should at least have like some idea of what his name is if you're sharing classes.
He obviously had some issue with those of us in Class 7. No, not us exactly, but...
Oh, shoot!
I mean, I assume he's probably also, he's like, I mean, he kind of has the Jaeger vibe. Could have beef with, Breen because of the Northumbria stuff, since that's where a lot of the Jaegers were based.
We better hurry, or we'll be late to homeroom.
You're right. Let's get moving.
Or he just wants to beat up Breen because he's like a
Hard to
combat
believe
junkie.
it's been 2 weeks already.
It warms my heart to see all the students trying their best. The classwork here is much more difficult than at the main campus, so I'm sure it's tough on them.
Yeah. Then on top of that, training exercises were added onto their curriculum. We didn't have anything like that at the main campus.
Well, I mean, we kind of did.
Thor's branch campus. I think I'm starting to understand what the government's trying to do here.
What, grind all the youth into the fucking ground?
Oh, but I don't think that's the only reason for this place. In keeping with Thor's tradition, we'll also have those days to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be a relief for them.
Please, no more fetching diary quests.
I'll tell my students about them after school, alongside the club announcement.
Got it. Thanks for taking care of that. Well then, Instructor Reen, let's give it our all today.
Likewise, Instructor Toa.
Very simple chapter 1 name. Definitely like the prologue one more, but you know.
This is the formula.
Bro, what the fuck?
You will need it when calculating trajectory. Make sure you commit it to memory.
This is known as Gross Domestic Product, or GDP for short.
I feel like one of these lessons is much easier than the other.
By the way, the GDP of the Empire of Erebonia rose 42% last year compared to 2 years ago.
Well, okay, when you say that, because percentages are misleading, was it a 40% or 42% overall growth in or the growth rate was 42% more than it was 2 years ago? Because that's understandable. If the overall growth of the GDP was 42% in 2 years, that seems like fucking insanity. Even if it was artificially lowered because of the Civil War.
Today's task is walking. Sounds easy, right? Well, let me tell you, it won't be. We'll be marching, so I need to see perfect posture and formation while armed. Even combat tactics got worn out by this.
I mean, I guess they did get crossbow and all that, so... But I don't think crossbow would account for almost a half of the Empire's total GDP. I think I mean, the most reasonable assumption would be that that's a 42% higher growth rate rather than a 42% higher overall growth period. And one of these seems significantly easier than the other two.
The War of the Lions. Said to be the largest turning point in the history of the Empire. The end of this war brought us to our modern era.
Bro, has anybody in Erebonia not heard about this shit by now?
Today, we'll be looking into the events leading up to the war that caused it to develop the way it did.
Like, do y'all got any other history? Y'all just keep talking about this war from 200 years ago. Like, come on, man. Get some new material already.
The way he explains it, it's actually pretty easy to understand.
An interesting perspective.
Oh, I see. I'm actually learning a lot.
I mean, I guess they do have foreign students, but, still.
He's so dashing.
Weirdo. Well, that's like that's it for today. How did you guys hold up? I mean, I guess Reanie technically is only like 2 years older than them, but... It still would be weird for Reanie to have a relationship with his students as far as like, even like, because it's less about the age gap at that point and more about like the position of influence, I guess. Well, it's fair for the coursework to be difficult, but even so. Are you just piling on more work of us just so we get... What? Are you just piling on more work on us just so we're getting used... Just as we're getting used to the old pace? My brain is scrambled. Don't make me read, game. Not yet, but I may end up needing to do just that. The curriculum here at the branch campus is pretty diverse. It's probably a good idea to prepare yourselves for even more work down the road. Only there weren't so many lectures. I mean, lectures are the easiest part of school. Energy consumption are greater than expected. Sheesh. Tomorrow's a free day, is it not? That's right. In fact, I was just about to explain. Alright, the entrance guide mentioned that, didn't it? How's it different than a normal day off? Think of free days as normal school days without any classes. Instead, you will do busy work. On free days, you can study, train, or pursue one of your hobbies, or do side quests. If you get permission beforehand, you can even go visit Heimdall for the day. Wow, it's a lot more freedom than I expected. You will not be able to do any of that shit, though. Figured it's gonna be some rest day with a ton of rules and restrictions. That doesn't sound too bad, though. Well, it's just one of those things that make Thors Thors. However, though you're generally free to choose what to do, there is one mandatory task tomorrow. You need to choose a club to join. Really? A club? I hadn't thought there would be clubs at a school that was only just founded. It was a requirement for the principal herself. She said as long as we're using the Thor's name, student clubs are a must. You'll be allowed to apply for a club as long as you have at least 2 members, and we'll also see about getting your club the proper equipment. And any students who don't join a club will be put on the student council, where they'll work directly under the principal. Alright, so join a club, got it. Sounds dangerous. What's with this place? Everyone's here is too over the top. We're being forced to choose then. We have until tomorrow, correct? Right, I recommend you start thinking about it after school today. If you need advice, feel free to talk with any of the faculty members. Remember, we're here to help you. Understood. I'd prefer just having you assign me a club. Honestly, same. I don't like making choices. Also, regarding the new course at the end of the week... Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Hands are sold out training? That's right, the training units have arrived at the hangar. You'll be joining the combat tactics students for basic maneuvering lessons. After that, we'll discuss the special lessons, the first of which will take place this weekend. The special lessons? I was curious about those. There's likely no point in us asking about them now, is there? Sorry, but not even us instructors have been filled in on it yet. Anyway, focus on tomorrow for now. Think of it as a day to spread your wings and lift your spirits. That concludes homeroom. Can I have you lead the class here, Altina? Understood. It seems a little unnecessary when there's just 2 other students.
Bow.
Well, tomorrow's the free day. Essentially a free day for us faculty members as well. However, I'd like you all to join us for a briefing at 3 p.m. A briefing? Starting to sound real military in here all of a sudden. Is it perhaps about... That's correct, the special lessons that will be held next weekend. I see. The only info we're getting for now, eh? This is top secret. I guess it's gotta be bigger than even Panzer Soldat training. All the students will be joining in for these lessons, correct? Right, without exception, all students and teachers from classes 7 through 9 will participate. Please report at 3 p.m. tomorrow to the tactical conference room in the main building. That is all for now. Sheesh, she's the picture-perfect model of a hard-ass RMP guy, that's for sure. I hear things are only gonna get it more armored flavored around here. Yeah, seems that way to me too. That keep place, the Panzer Soldats, and that freight train. For a branch campus, this place is far too well equipped to be just some throwaway pawn. Yeah, that's true. I mean, is he just like trying to build his own like private army? Is that what Osborne's up to? I know the main campus was, but I mean, he kind of already has that, so I don't know. I know the main campus was renovated as well, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear that just as much mirror was spent here. What bothers me though is, where is this all coming from? And if they're dropping that much cash here, what are they expecting in return from us? And what have I got myself into? Get me out of this crazy place! Instructor Randolph, I just want to go gamble, man! Well, I mean, we can't really stop you from leaving, but no, literally you can't stop him because Randy can definitely kick everybody's ass right now. You can't convince me otherwise. Come on, I'm just kidding around. I'm not gonna drop my responsibilities like that. Besides, the kids in combat tactics seem like they're gonna be a fun group to work with. Anyway, I think I'll head out now. I'm supposed to go check up on the kids and see if they need help with their big club decision. Yeah, got it. We'll see you later. How do you open that door? Can't help but feel like there's a wall between us. Really? I don't get that impression. He's easy to talk with and he seems to care for his students. He's definitely a great instructor. Just a year ago, I fought against one of his comrades. I don't imagine he's got a very high opinion of me. And honestly, I can't really blame him. I mean, at least Serene's self-aware. Anyway, I'll go check on the students and head back to the dorm for the day. I'm sure picking a club on such short notice isn't going to be easy for them. Yeah, good point. I've said it before, but let's both keep doing our best. Now then, school's done for the day. It's got a different feeling to it than when I was a student. Kind of refreshing. Maybe I'll walk around the campus to get a feel for it. Ho ho ho! I can chat with some of the students while I'm at it. And if they got any problems or advice, maybe I can help them out. I'll also talk with the principal and the other Oh, this is a banger. You can now view the character tab in your notebook. Character tab lets you read profiles and initial information on certain characters you've met. Okay. The quick travel menu is now available. Open the quick travel menu with the square button. Key events and your comrades. Alright. Oh god, we just got fucking 80 billion entries. When you see it? I don't know. What does it say about my boy Randy? An easygoing and friendly teacher who transferred to the school from the Army's Crossbow unit. Turned down many job offers in favor of the branch campus. Aurelia's actions often cause him headaches, confident and loves battling skilled foes. One of Professor Epstein's 3 disciples and the greatest mind in Erebonia. He helped Reanie from the sidelines during... Why does... Patrick just looks weird. I don't know. Thinking of his time spent in the old Class VII, he just wants his class to see each other, not just as classmates, but as comrades. Has a complex about his looks? The door of the tactical conference room is locked. We probably will end here in a second. And you're not gonna like progress the story on me, are you? Yeah, we probably have to go talk to all these people, so we'll talk with you. And maybe, because like I said, I have no clue where we are, like, because this is probably part 5. I mean, it has to be part 5. So I think part 4 will just be fighting the big robot. And then this will be, like, the cutscene after that, and up to here, maybe? Almost time to call it today. I trust things went smoothly for you today. This will give a good grasp on the whole teaching thing. I wouldn't say that. Every day I'm reminded of just how much more I have left to learn. Just like the students, I have to keep learning and improving myself all the time. I was so humble. I feel like you want to say something, though. There's no need to hold back on my account. I'm still having my trouble wrapping my head around it. The golden Rakasha herself, here. You find it just as amusing as I do. After everything I've done, here I am in such a mundane place as this. To be honest, I've been feeling weaker ever since we lost the Civil War. Though I was still somehow able to accomplish my role last autumn. The Northern War. Okay, I see Altina. I guess that's Sarah. Our invasion of the autonomous state just north of the Empire, North Ambria. Anyone else? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely... I mean, it's like a random person. It was a war of retaliation against the Northern Jaegers who were based there. You were all called upon by the government. You were there too, if I recall. Yes, the Valor and I weren't put on the front lines. Honestly, I don't think we could even call what happened there a war. Well, yeah. Well, with you and Brigadier General Wallace commanding the provincial armies equipped with the most advanced panzer soldates available, the assault in conjunction with the tank unit was relentless. And North Ambria followed the same fate as Crossbell. It's not quite how I'd put it. It'd be more accurate to say it was driven by the same fate as our dear Chancellor's design. AKA the fucking reason for the invasion was probably bullshit. In any event, that battle was a good turning point for me. The provincial army was falling apart at the Civil War, but thanks to the Northern War, we were able to salvage it. As the Countess of my family, I had planned to lead the army to Wallace and find myself a husband and pop out some heirs. But then for some reason I was called to be the principal here. Fate is an intriguing thing indeed. For some reason, huh? At any rate. Tomorrow will be our school's first free day. Relax and stretch your legs a bit, and be sure to help our students out with their club decisions. Right, understood. And as I said, those students who don't join a club tomorrow will be forced into the student council. And there being too many, I'm putting you in charge of them all. I'll do my best to avoid that happening. I hear you used to help Herschel with the student council work when you were students. Yeah? Perhaps student council advisor would be a good position for you after all. I don't think that'll be necessary. Besides, it's be best if the students all choose a club on their own anyway, right? Right? Running. Alright, also that reminds me. Since this is a new save, I didn't put your fucking nerd glasses on. You haven't yet won the right to not have to wear the nerd glasses. And honestly, I don't think they look that bad. It's more just like the fact that he was wearing them like clearly because it felt like it's just because he wanted to appear older. That's what kind of makes them nerd glasses. Not that they look bad, I guess. There we go. Major Irving, are those new packages? Yes, recreational equipment from Principal Le Guin's household has arrived. He thought they might help the students decide on their extracurricular activities. He did all this just for the club, so I'm impressed. In addition to the recreational equipment, Principal Le Guin is personally footing the bill for a number of things. And it's true this academy is heavily funded by the Imperial government. Those funds are limited to things that are deemed necessities. None of this club equipment which she brought would be considered essential, but this is the golden rocket show we're talking about here. Nothing is going to stand in her way. There's no stopping her. I can at least control the funds to some extent. I see. Major Irving of the RMP. He works for the government, but he's really business-minded. He's really different from Major Clary, even though they're colleagues. Principal Le Guin really has a wide range of hobbies. Chess, musical instruments, various sports. She must be very skilled. There we go. In the library, you can find many books that explain history and concepts found in Zemuria. In addition, since new books are added to the recommended reading quarter each chapter, check back every often or so to see if a new book catches your eye. I don't know if I should be reading right now, because I am very tongue-tied, apparently. Hello. From history books to novels to young children's storybooks. Wow, this library really has it all. Hey there, looking for something specific? Okay. Sorry, Tatiana, I didn't mean to surprise you like that. Instructor Reanie, no, I'm the one who should be sorry. Are you just scoping the place out? Guess you're somewhat of a bookworm, huh? Yes, my father loved books. He's the reason I enjoy reading so much. I just don't limit myself to one genre either. I like to immerse myself in all sorts of worlds and fantasies. Though I'm not too good with scary ones. I see. Well, I am the history instructor, you know? I'd like to think I'm pretty well versed as far as that goes, so let me know if I can help you out in any way. What about something besides the War of the Lions? There's no history besides the War of the Lions, okay? Of course, thank you very much. Thanks for the kind offer. I'd love to talk history with you, if you ever have the time, that is. I assume this is probably just all the same stuff from the previous games. Okay, late 1204. Our Crossbell Time special issue. See, it seems a little weird. I mean, like, I know why it's there from, like, a gameplay reason, because it's, you know, it was there in CS2, but, like, it is kind of weird to be, like, Imperial Chronicle stuff, and then it's like, hey, there's a Crossbell Times issue. Since, honestly, that one was pretty easy to miss. Like, honestly, I'm a little surprised I found it. I just happened to, like, go back, I don't really know why. And this is gonna be the CS1 ones? Yeah. The Imperial Transportation Act. Shit still fucking got me mad. It's been 6 months. Fucking rigged ass bullshit question. Phantom Thief B. He's an elusive thief. The October War? 2-month-long civil war between the Noble Alliance and the Imperial Army? Oh, okay, so they're calling it the October War. The war ended in the Imperial Army's favor, and Duke Cayenne, the Lord of the Lemaire Province, is arrested as the supreme leader of the Noble Alliance. Okay. What do you guys say about the 100 Days War? It was a war of aggression waged by the Empire against the Liberal Kingdom in 1192. The name is drawn from the 100 days between the start of the war and its church-mediated end. Appeared to be a significant advantage. The reason of the war is not public knowledge, but the Imperial Empire has since formally apologized to Liberal, calling the war a mistake born from an unfortunate misunderstanding. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Unfortunate misunderstanding. Yeah. Anything about the Bracer Guild? Is that like a thing again? Members that are known as Bracers, it's guiding principle. Okay, I thought maybe there'd be something about like its history within Erebonia. A formerly autonomous state with an extremely cold climate located in the northwestern reaches of the continent, was formerly annexed to the Empire in November 1205. Though originally a principality, a major disaster occurred in 1178 in which a majority of the country was suddenly turned to salt. God, I just love that without context. If you, like, you hadn't, because, I mean, there's still, like, no real context for the Salt Pail stuff. It's just, like, a thing that happened in the lore, and they've never really addressed it. It just kind of, like, comes up every once in a while. That was like, yeah, that was that time that Northumbria turned to fucking salt. The citizens of Northumbria have generally mixed opinions on the annexation, but many believe the Empire will finally be able to provide the stability they've long lacked. I mean, Northumbria was, apparently in, like, a really, really bad spot. So, like, I could kind of, like, if it had been, like a peaceful annexation of Northumbria or something, or, like, maybe not, you know, like, if it hadn't been, like, a war of aggression that resulted in the annexation, it would actually be kind of, like, hard to be mad at Erebonia in that situation. Compared to, like, Crossbill, where Crossbill was, you know, obviously, like, pretty prosperous on its own and had, like, a legitimate, like, it should be independent. And like the reason for the invasion is essentially it was Erebonia's act of aggression was used as the justification for invading Crossbell, which is that, you know, the missiles that were originally launched were the reason that Guerrilla Fortress got destroyed. The formerly autonomous state situated between the two major powers, the Empire of Erebonia and the Republic of Calvert, though established as a self-governing body 70 years ago, was formally annexed to the Empire in January 1205. Under the rule of the new Governor General Rufus Alberea, trade with the other countries, excluding the Republic, also recommended Crossbell. Wait, what? Oh, also recommenced. I was like, recommended makes no sense there. Crossbell has also been slowly returning to its role as one of the major cities on the continent, but tensions remain high. Erebonian Empire, we're the bad guys in every single scenario. We are always the bad guys. Despite the Empire's strict class system and focus on tradition, it has begun to modernize due to the railway expansion efforts of Gileath Osborne. Erebonia may be the most powerful nation in Zamuria. Well, apparently, because Calvert has kind of been sucking the big one for like a long time now. Okay, I think we're done here. Wait, isn't this old? I'm pretty sure we read this one. And this also seems, yeah, this was in CS1, I think? Is this maybe the ones from CS2? Wait, this is new, I think. Oh, it even says new up there. This one say old? Oh, it just says recommended reading, and this is recommended reading new. Alright, we'll read this later, because I think we're... Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it right now. Fuck it. Let me just pause. Oh, let me just mute the mic for a second. We might kind of like fast read it. It's been 2 years since Panzer Soldats were revealed to the world. The manned, humanoid, armored weapons designed by the Empire's genius scientists, Professor G. Smith, were the aces of the Noble Alliance forces at first, but they were used by the Imperial Army after the Civil War, leading them to rapid progress. The book will focus on introducing the newest version, the Model 2s. Machine was designed to be the most versatile. It is not equipped with any special functions, but it is easy to operate. The newest model's armor was redesigned to increase speed or defense and mobility. The Spiegel S, an enhanced machine for officers in higher ranks based on the Draken. It has increased output and reaction speed, but requires mastery to operate. In order to counter the Panzer Soldat's weak defensive capabilities, an instantly deployable reactive armor that repels fire was installed, but using it effectively is even more difficult. The Hector Mark II, a design unit that was designed to realize high output and defensive capabilities. It boasts 1.5 times the output and armor of the Draken, but has inferior velocity and mobility. A repeating cannon can also be installed in the shoulder unit. The newest model has slightly increased speed and mobility. The Kestrel B, a light unit that boasts high speed and mobility. The use of a veneer makes instantaneous jumping and high speed movement possible. It can also handle airship attacks from high altitude. Defense was a difficult point, but the newest model has improved defenses in the joints. And the Goliath Noah, this special unit, also called the Giant, boasts overwhelming output and defensive capabilities. It can devastate the battlefield with hand-to-hand combat using its giant arms and long-distance attacks from the shoulder-mounted blaster cannon. Speed, mobility, and operability are sticking points, but the veneer makes short-range movement impossible too. The cost of a single unit is nearly 20 times that of a Draken, so few are produced. Okay, we're not gonna read. There's some specs. They be tall and they be heavy. After last year's annexation, the Crossbell province in the far east of the Erebonian Empire has become a place closer to our hearts and thus easier to visit. Shut up. The city is known for trade and finance, but also has many tourist spots and various sightseeing areas outside the city. We'll introduce the main attractions here. Michelin Wonderland, a huge theme park that sits across from Lake Elm in southern Crossbell, along with amusement facilities like a Ferris wheel, indoor roller coaster, and the Enchanted Castle, and also has a resort hotel. The mascot Mishy is also popular recently all over the Empire. Make a wishy with Mishy. Entertainment District. There is an entertainment district in northwest Crossbell City, along with casinos and high roller clubs. There's also a theater featuring the famous performance group Arc-en-Ciel. Though they have cut back performances while their star actress recuperates, recently the theater has been hosting performances of opera troupes from around the Empire and the Reanie Ballet. East Street, a street in eastern Crossbell City with an eastern look that is rare in the Empire. Along the exotic buildings and eastern restaurants, there are many street stalls to let you enjoy the delicious fare. The Harbor District features some of the same eastern fare, along with the noodle stands that always have lines of people. Orkios Tower. The Continent's first skyscraper that is 250 arg high. Crossbell City Hall was built just 2 years ago, but already has had the poor luck of housing the Independent Presidency, and now the Imperial Governor General. The roof and observation deck is open except for specific periods, and on a sunny day you can see not only the whole province, but all areas of the Empire. I don't know about all areas of the Empire, I don't think you have that much sightline. A scenic farming village in northeastern Crossbell, or Armorica Village. Known for its flower garden and specialty honey, ruins from the Middle Ages are also scattered around it. It can be reached in 30 minutes by orbital bus from Crossbell City, so it's a popular spot for those who want to relax, and sometimes people walk. Sometimes they walk and they regret it. St. Ursula Medical College, a medical college and general hospital built in cooperation with the medically advanced Reanie. Both patients from inside and outside the province looking for the newest medical techniques, and tourists simply looking for a simple checkup. Man, that's such a weird concept to me. As like, you know, an American, like touristing and going to a hospital for simple checkups. Like, you don't go to a hospital here unless you're you're going to die. And even then you're like, if I die, I die. Increasing in recent years, it was previously only accessible by bus, but last year a railway from Crossbell City was completed, connecting the medical college and Michelin. That's interesting. Wait. Oh, the Red Moon Rose. Yeah, we read that. Okay, so that's everything on this floor pretty much. So we will call it here. And in the next video, we will continue talking to everybody in the world. I'm Extra Cheese 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.